Welcome to Common Man Cocktails. I'm your host Derek Schomer, and today what I want to talk about, and this is maybe sort of a rant, maybe sort of not a review. I'm not going to drink anything right now. What I'm going to tell you is I'm going to let you in a little secret, and maybe it's a sequel to Jose Cuervo is Garbage, a video we've put out that has had a crap ton of views. So I'll link this there, and I'll link that here, so you guys can all find it for those people who are finding us through one of these videos. And I put out a video talking about how Jose Cuervo Gold is just god-awful, how it's a fake tequila, how there's nothing real about it. It's 51% agave. There's no value in owning it. All it does is A, gives people the wrong impression of what tequila is supposed to taste like. B, nobody in Mexico drinks Jose Cuervo. They ship it over here to give us the garbage. So let's get smarter here in the U.S. C, it's 51% of actual product, and then the rest is just stuffed grain alcohol and caramel color to make it look old and almost like a reposado. So that's just bogus. And then everybody responds back, and I say everybody, not everybody, but a large group of people saying, that's right. Those people who either didn't know or like, oh my god, this is enlightening. And then there's everybody else that was like, that's right, that's why I only drink Patron. And I just had to shake my head and feel kind of good and bad at the same time. And here's why. Patron is not good tequila. And I'm not saying that like it's fake, I'm not trying to trash on Patron. My personal opinion, as somebody who has a lot of tequila, has had the opportunity to taste a crap load of tequila. No, I'm not a tequila connoisseur. I'm a guy that buys stuff and, does lots of reviews. I have a show, so that must mean something, I guess. But at the same time, I want to share my thoughts to see if I can either convert some people or give them a new perspective, whether they go with it or not, whatever. Here's where Patron wins. Patron wins because it's better than Jose Cuervo Gold. And when you go to the restaurants, or you go to the bars, or you hit up any of these places, and you walk in, you want to feel like you are an informed consumer. So what has happened over the years is people realized, some people, that Jose Cuervo Gold is trash, and that they should get a real tequila. And everybody's like, dude, you need to drink a real tequila. And that's when they drop in this bottle, right? And they're like, this is a real tequila. You should be drinking this. People taste this, and they're like, holy crap, what have I been missing? Jose Cuervo tastes like pee. This tastes like tequila. This is what I'm supposed to be drinking? Guys, this is like, in my opinion, nothing against the Patron people, right? They executed on a niche that needed execution. And they jumped on a platform and said, guys, wake up, it's time for some tequila, right? To me, this is the vodka of tequila. I'll call it that. You'll never really see me use this on Common Man Cocktails on the show proper, because I don't really want to give people the impression I would drink it. And the reason is I don't really care for the taste. It's kind of tastes like a little bit of a burnt tire to me, but whatever. I've seen that quality in some different tequilas, and it probably has something to do with the distillation process or the specific nature of the plant or whatever. Fine. Maybe I just don't like that quality. But at the same time, there is so little that this gives you. The nose is boring. The flavor is lame. It's flat. It doesn't have a lot. I would go as far as to say Patron doesn't really have a soul. It doesn't make me think, oh, this is a hard hand-worked tequila that they've grown, and they've hand-selected these agave plants, and they went through the distillation, and they went through mashing this stuff up, and watch videos on how they make this stuff. It's pretty cool, right? I just don't get that from this product, and it's a shame, because the product at my place here in New Hampshire is about $55. We're a state control. Things tend to be cheap here. $55 for this bottle. I'm guessing most people will find it more money, but typically between 45, 55, or higher. You go into Europe, if you could find 100% de agave, you have to kill somebody to get it. So that might be different. Then the next question is, okay, Derek, if you don't like Patron, and you've already pissed on Jose Cuervo Gold, what is it that you really like? What is it that you think is so much better? So here we go. First, I've done a blind testing. I'll link it below. Me, a few of us went through 22 or so silver blancos, silver tequilas, and a blind tasting. The goal, Patron was included, and the goal was find what we thought would be the best. 3 different personalities, a whole host of different tequilas, and we came up with this is the best. Cabo Wabo. I didn't want it to be the best. I didn't even want Cabo to rank. First off, it's not that much cheaper. You're probably in the 35s. Hold on, let me Google that for you. I will use my store here, the New Hampshire liquor store, and I will type Cabo Wabo, right? So Cabo Wabo comes out, 750 milliliter is $39.99, $40. So 40, 55. 40, 55. Math here, right? Why would I buy this product for more money when this product beats it in my own blind tasting and nosing? It doesn't make sense. So why is this so much more expensive than this? Well, oddly enough, this was a product that was originally, I don't believe it is anymore, but originally promoted by Sammy Hagar. So that's kind of why I didn't like it. I don't like the man to win. I don't like somebody who's already a celebrity and has made it to be able to go and create something that's not even in their own industry and generate buzz and make sales. And it's not necessarily because I think it's bad. Sammy Hagar did an excellent job finding this distiller and this product and labeling it and branding it and getting it to the public. That just doesn't happen very often with celebrities. They just slap their name on it, 901 Tequila. I think it's Justin Timberlake or whatever. It's okay, but it's way too pricey for what you're getting. It's because it's got the name behind it, right? So, if you don't have Cabo Wabo, you want to spend a little less, but you want to do some hunting, I would also suggest you check out Riazul Premium. Their añejo is awesome. Like I was telling people today, because we just did a Don Julio 1942 review, añejo tequila, $120 price tag, pretty rich and expensive. The repo that these guys make is good, but the añejo is killer. And I just can't brag about it enough. I just need to do a new tasting. I'm going to buy some more bottles. Sorry, I get excited about tequila. I don't really know why. I don't really drink that much. But, so, maybe you can't find that. You can get it, usually I think Specs Online, Texas, you should be able to order it. I believe drinkupnewyork.com has it. I'm fairly 100% certain actually on that. I could Google it, but I don't want to waste your time. Here's another product. This is Tres Generaciones Plata, right? Or Tres Generaciones is the way I usually say it because I fail at Spanish. This product is awesome. Good nose, good aroma. It has everything going for it. Blind tasting, I believe it came in either second or third. It may have tied with Riazul. Alma was the other one that came in. Alma, I guess, probably saw our review because they want to send us some bottles now. So, once I have those in, maybe we'll do a little tasting with that. So, let's move on from there. Now, the question is, I just trashed on Jose Cuervo. But then I found this. This is Jose Cuervo Tradicional, right? The other thing people have always, in this Jose Cuervo video, besides Patron, they said 1800. I'm not a huge fan of 1800. Again, people love it. I think they just haven't expanded their palate to other tequilas to find out that, while you might like that, the love turns to like when you start to have some of these other exciting flavors. El Gran Jubileo, for instance, has a really nice white pepper aroma that's just, it's awesome. It's got some citrus. The aroma might even be better than the full taste, but having a good taste and a great aroma, it tends to work itself out. This, though, also the same distillery as 1800. If you look on the back, you can look here, that's your nom, right? If you look up noms, there's a nom lookup database. I believe it's from tequila.net. So if you type nom database, typically you'll find it. You type in this number here, 1122, and you'll find all the other products made at that distillery. So it's pretty cool, right? That means the 1800 people are making this, which is okay, because Proximo, I believe, who owns 1800, just recently bought Jose Cuervo. Makes sense. But the key here is, Tradicional, while it was kind of gone for a while, I think it was because of the brand and where the gold was sitting. This is a quality product, and it was $19.99 at our liquor store. So, and I've done the review. You could search our channel, and you'll see the Jose Tradicional, or you can go into YouTube and type Jose Tradicional, just spell it right, it's got a C. The review, and you'll find it will probably be the only one that comes up. This is a fantastic product for $19. Is it the best product on the planet? No. Is it better than Patron? By at least 3 times, right? The difference, the key difference here is if you go to a standard restaurant, you will have Patron and Jose Cuervo Gold. Not usually there. You often will find they have Cabo, right? So what I'm trying to say is, if you could find a place that has more than just 2 tequilas, Gold and Patron, You are at a place that knows their shit about some tequila. They don't necessarily mean they have access to everything, but they want to be able to branch out. And I'm not saying Salsa, the 51%. I'm not saying any of these other 51. Olmeca, I think maybe have a mixto in there too. But if you get to a place that has Cabo, Riazul, let's see what else we'll have. Herradura. I could go on forever. Suerta. Any of these. There's a Sparkle Donkey. If you could, you won't find that in a bar, but if you could, definitely try that. There are a wider variety to go for. You don't need to go with the Patron. And yes, you will probably pay the same amount at the restaurant for Patron against a Herradura, but you will get a better drink. So, better cocktails are made with better ingredients. This is not the best ingredient out there. The problem is, Patron has blasted their marketing. They're everywhere. Back of Playboy magazine, back of any magazine that really allows for alcohol advertising. Anywhere you can find alcohol advertising, in all the bars, they've just dominated everything. They did an awesome job exposing people to real tequila. But now it's up to these other guys, even Jose Cuervo can make a change, to realize that once you have understood that there's a real tequila, it's time to take it to the next level and find one that's better than the one you just had. And that's not to say necessarily because Patron is, in my personal opinion, kind of crappy, but it's still legit and real, that doesn't mean I'm going to stop looking. For instance, let's say I take this Cabo Wabo. This is currently my baseline for the best silver. Now that's different for Repos, it's different for Añejos. Again, the Riazul I think is mind-boggling. Partida, another great brand, but usually more costly. Still, I'd rather buy tequila than this, buy Partida than this. So, now, my goal, as always, this is my current baseline. I am not going to stop trying new silver tequilas until I find one that beats Cabo Wabo, and I will let you know when I find it. And that is the goal. Right now, while this is the baseline, Sparkle Donkey's right up there. A couple of the other ones we've tried recently, Suerta is pretty good. I haven't done these two side by side because Suerta came in later after the blinds. But I still think that you should always be searching for the better product. And not just better for your money, right? Think about it that way. If you think this is good, if you could find a product for $10, $5, $2 less, and it's a better product, why would you ever buy this again? Why? It's not that good. If you go to a restaurant and the only two options are gold and this, the first thing you should do is leave, because you're at a bad restaurant. That shouldn't be the way it is anymore. If you go to a Mexican restaurant, if you only find this in gold, you're not at a Mexican restaurant. You're not even at a fake Mexican restaurant. You're like fucking Taco Bell, right? Get out of there. Go to some place that has some legit stuff. I don't even care if you don't like tequila. If you could hate tequila, if you go there and you ask for the tequila menu, you look at what their bar holds, and they don't have those, you should just leave. Because their guacamole is probably going to suck just as bad. Because they don't understand or appreciate the food and spirit pairings. That's it. And yes, that's a pretty big statement, but sometimes big statements have to be said. Because again, it's my opinion. I'll reiterate, Patron, not a bad brand. I haven't had all of theirs. I'm sure they have an extra añejo, but when I look at the price of this, it makes me wonder why I want to try the añejo, because if they're charging this much for the silver, and they're charging even more for the añejo, and I know in my library of añejos, I have something that'll probably smoke it. So why would I even care to try them? But you know what? If I find a Patron añejo, extra añejo, whatever it is, I will damn well try it, because I need to try everything before I can make a full lockdown assumption on the next tier brand. But I tell you this, tried this, I've tried all these other ones, and you can get something for $20, $30 less, and it's going to be better. So, for those that are going to say Patron is the best thing on the planet, and you think you've tried all the other ones, I have a challenge for you. This is what you do. You get your buddies together, and you can make a party out of this. You get all your buddies together. That might be one buddy, depending on how many friends you have. You pour a bunch of these blind. You write down some numbers, you figure out a method to make sure that nobody can find it, you shuffle those suckers around, maybe you have somebody who doesn't want to participate do the shuffling, and you do a complete, unbiased blind tasting with Patron and a couple other brands. You might actually be pretty damn surprised at who you pick. Just saying. So there you go. That is why I don't choose to use Patron in my cocktails or on my show. nor would I endorse it as the best silver on the market. It's not worth the money. So it's time to move on. All right, we're done. Question of the day: what product across every industry in the world did you figure out wasn't worth the money? For me, pretty much any furniture at Walmart. You're gonna say, why the hell would you buy furniture at Walmart? Sometimes you know your kids are gonna destroy it. So there you go. Answer the question. I'm gonna go edit this video right now. We're teaching you how to drink.